Hi, welcome to another installment of David Ivory Presents. Typically, we always feature up-and-coming new artists, but today's show is going to be something really special. I was at a conference just the other week in Columbus, and one of the panelists was interviewing, was listening to some young kids' work, and he goes, what you really have to do is study the masters. And it really rang true to a lot of people in the room. I mean, you need to study where your music came from. Like Michael Jackson didn't just learn all those steps. He watched Fred Astaire. He watched everybody, James Brown. He learned from the people that came before him. And so when we had the opportunity to bring my next guest on, we couldn't say no because this guy is an amazing R&B legend. And I want to introduce everybody to Mr. Bunny Sigler.
Could I comment on something you just said before I forget? I always forget. You talk about Michael Jackson and the steps. I just came from the doctor. I hurt my ankle doing the moonwalk. You know where the moonwalk came from?
No.
James Brown used to do an old step called the camel walk. And Michael is doing it backwards. Camel walk is forward, and Michael is doing it backwards. Well, my journey started. First the name Bunny Sigler came. I was born the day after Easter. That's why they call me Bunny.
Great.
When I was born, Bugs Bunny wasn't big, so that's why I didn't get the bugs on it. But I've been singing. The earliest thing I can remember in life is singing. You know, everybody has that memory. I remember singing little, whatever it was. And then going up through church and never knowing I was going to be a writer. You know, I knew I was going to be a singer at 10 years old. I used to go to sit in my house and play the piano. And, it'd be 20, it's cold outside, like 20 degrees. Mm-hmm. If I saw some girls coming down the street, we put the window up and I'd, the still, on the piano, all that stuff. So, singing to women has always been a thing in my life. You know, I think every singer, the reason they sing, first of all, before the money, is when they hear the lady scream.
Right.
That's it. You never know what's going to be the hit. That was just a filler song, Let the Good Time Roll. And it stood the test of time. It came out in 1967. I was about 2 years old then.
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm 71. I was born in 1941. And I feel 21.
You sure do. And when you perform, you look 21, I'll tell you that.
Feeling good. But like I said, Gambling Huff. Huff was with Johnny Madera. They did the 1, 2, 3. And I did a song, Girl, Don't Make Me Wait Too Long. The reason I got that, Lynn Barry couldn't sing that high. And David, you have reel-to-reel back here?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big reel-to-reel. We didn't have the computers that you see on the desk. We have reel-to-reel, so you couldn't change a lot in music. You had to get it. You had to get it right. They had this great track, and Lenny couldn't hit it, and I hit it, so I got the song. So the following year, I got to Let the Good Time Roll. The following year, the company folded, so I went on the road, and I came back, and I got with Gambling Huff. Then when I got with Gambling Huff, I was in the halls acting crazy, and Kenny told me, go in the room and write with somebody. So I went in with this guy named Eugene Doge and started writing. And eventually he left the company, and I stayed there. The first person I had a record on was Wilson Pickett, a song called International Playboy. And Bumblebee, come on and sting me. You got it, not sting me.
Right.
Even while I was writing, I was still performing all around the country and stuff. And one of the things that I've done, which I'm going to do in March, I did Othello.
Right, right. And that was overseas. You went to Venice, was
Venice, then 84, Venice, Trieste, Reggio Emilia, and Rome, Vienna, Austria, Dusseldorf, Stanford, and this March I go to Paris. I'll be saying,
yeah, give us a little. I know you were going to blow up the microphone, but why don't you just give us something? Okay.
Esotate urganyar musa manase pato halosophanes. Nutra da cella gloria. And if I want to make for April, oh baby, ooh yeah, no. But I don't do that in the flavor. Unless he wants it funky. I tell people want it funky, put a little funk on the piano. but I keep it straight.
That's tight. Nice, really nice. The Roots, you did a record with the Roots, and then Neo started sampling you, and Outkast. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, well, first of all, that came from Patti LaBelle, the one "Somebody Loves You." That was sampled by who was it? Nelly and Kelly Rowland, and I think it did like 8 million copies. And then Outkast did the same record, but they did a different part of it. But it was still the same. I paid for both of them. And one that Outkast did was on Madden's the football thing. So those samples just go crazy. And Neo, I Don't Get Down Like That, 50 Cent, Ski Mask, Biggie Smalls, The Beef. In fact, they used my track, and they used something I was singing. I don't know how that fits into rap. I was like, which reminds me, that's something like I did on, and you never know.
Right.
I was explaining this I had an interview with a guy over in England. He said, "What is that?" I said, "That's soulful yodeling." I said, "It's not but it's no." You have to tremble in your throat the same way, but it has to have a soulful overtone. Well, I was in bed in 12:30 with my lady love, and we had just had a sip of a little champagne, and the night was getting ready to be very cozy, and David calls at 12 and said, "I got a great song, you got to come." I said, "But I'm in bed." He said, "It's a hit, you got to come right now." So I quit the religious service I was getting ready to have, and I came out to the studio. And the song was great, but when I left here, David gave me a CD, and I lost it between the
console,
or the seats or whatever it is. And I needed proof to go back to my lady because she thought that David called me out here for a party or something, which David wouldn't do because we're very religious people. And it took me almost a half. David had gone to bed. I was still out there looking, but I finally found this thing. And she said, "This record is a hit."
Yeah, it came out great.
Came out. And it was other nights he called me. He couldn't get the idea until 12 o'clock at night at 12:30. So I was here to work on it.
No, but I could, and it was amazing too, Bunny, because, you're like, I write with all kinds of people and young and whatever, and man, they don't have near the energy you do. It's just amazing. And then when we did Nobody Else for Me, we got Paul Schaefer to come down, and Marcellus Floyd, who played for Marvin Gaye for all those years, and that was a great session as well.
But we did it right at this where you sitting. You were sitting there, and I was sitting opposite you, and we didn't go in the studio. We just sat here like we was talking, like I'm singing now. That's how we sang into the microphone. And it was very relaxing, and I think you can hear that on the music. Yep.
Well, I really thank you, Bunny, for doing this show that's coming up. You're going to see it in just a bit. Bunny is an amazing performer, which you will soon see, and we're very fortunate to have you here, and I thank you very much. And anybody wants to check out his new record, Bunny Sigler, From Bunny with Love, please do so. It's available on iTunes and everywhere else.
They go to www.bunz, BUNZ, musicandrecords.com.